Hey everyone, welcome to another PPA Tour interview. Hannah Johns here with Miss Tyra Black. Welcome, Tyra.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're to get us started. I know you just made a pretty big announcement. You signed with PIKKL USA, which is a paddle company that most of us honestly had never heard of. What prompted this move?
They're just amazing people. So I got offers from quite a few companies, and when I spoke with them, I just absolutely fell in love with all of them. They were just great people. I love their values and what they're going for. They want a paddle for everyone, so it's like really community oriented, and I just absolutely love that.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, you held out for quite a while. I know that people have been guessing like since early
Yeah,
spring, like who is Tyra Black gonna sign with? And so it's great you finally found a good fit.
it took a while,
Tell
but I'm
it
happy I
did.
waited.
Yeah. What is the new paddle like then? How does it play?
There's a lot of control, so I really love it.
Mm.
A lot of people are going for more powerful paddles, but I feel like I already have a lot of power, so I want something with a bit more control. So, yeah.
That makes sense. I know Lea Jansen was on with me last week, and she was talking about how great you guys complement each other and fit together. And one thing that everyone has noticed about your game is how great you are at controlling the ball, getting digging back into points. Your power is obviously there. That's a massive backhand through the middle that you've got,
Yeah,
but you really can do it all. It's pretty impressive.
thanks. Yeah, especially when we play together. It's really fiery out there. It's fun. She has so much energy on the court, and I'm a bit more to myself, so I think we complement each other very well.
Yeah, about that. It really is like you're like peace. You're the sort of like Jedi Knight, and she's like out there just absolutely leaving it all on the table. And it's I think it's gonna be so fun to watch you guys play next
I
year.
know. I love having someone next to me like that. So it's like they're getting rowdy for me. We played a tournament like 2 days ago, and I even started to get rowdy, which I never do. So it was a lot of fun. You might see a different side of me next year.
Oh, I love it. That's what the best partners do. They bring out all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
So these paddles with PIKKL USA, I don't even think like people, of course, freaked out when you signed with them and went to go check out their website. And I heard from people that they weren't even selling paddles yet. How did they even find you and start chats with you?
I don't know exactly. I started speaking with them through my agent, and we got on some phone calls, and they launched yesterday actually.
Ah, okay.
So
Everyone out there who asked that question, you can now go buy these paddles.
exactly. So I tried out a bunch of paddles, and we wanted it to be the perfect fit before they launched anything. So now it's out, and it's a great paddle. Everyone should go get it.
I love it. I love it. You're actually at a PIKKL USA event right now, right? You have the billboard behind you from some other stuff.
Yes, so they have everything here. They have like pickle erasers, shoelaces, everything. So we're promoting all of it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, tell me about the brand partnership landscape and navigating that. I think you're also signed with Stacked, right?
Yes.
Yes. And so are players waiting to be approached these days, or are they out hunting for partnerships?
So thankfully, I have a great agent, Josh Friedman, and he's just going out and getting a lot of stuff for me. But I've been getting a lot of messages on my socials, especially after I got my first gold a few months ago. So I was like, I need help. I needed an agent for sure. So he did everything because it's all these random companies I've never heard of before. Like, I don't know how to go about any of this. I didn't do that in tennis. Someone always did it for me. So I really needed that in pickleball.
So, what have been some of the weirdest contact requests that you've been getting on social where you're like, what is this person talking about?
Well, I came from tennis with all the betting and everything. It got
Oh,
very
true.
crazy. So nothing is crazy for me in pickleball yet, but in tennis it got very, very intense. I cannot repeat most of the things that was said to me, but it was really bad.
Well, actually, that's an interesting sort of question because obviously gambling coming to pickleball now, and it's not nearly at the level that tennis gambling is, but I'm sure it will get there. People will gamble on anything, as I found out. I didn't
Hmm.
know anything about this world until
Yeah.
recently. So, are we going to expect? Do you think for our pros to start receiving the same types of messages?
Yes, definitely, because you get it in all the sports, so it's something that comes along with it. And the betting is going to help the sport grow. So it's amazing, but it's just something that comes along and we have to learn how to deal with it. It was tough. I got my first bad message when I was about 14 years old and I cried for about 2 days.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yes.
I mean, I believe it. We know how cruel people can be online specifically, but and certainly some of our pros have gotten a few things, but it's not nearly where tennis is at, where it can be just the worst of the worst, like the most cruel things possible.
Yeah, I can't even imagine where the top tennis pros are right now with all those messages. Like it must be absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's a good point for sure. So when do you think like a I don't know, like a Nike's coming in or like a massive sponsor that's from the tennis world?
I've heard that a lot of them are going to start to come in very soon. So it's going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. So we'll see what happens.
So you obviously came from tennis, which is really cool. A lot of our pickleball pros did. Uh, what do you see as some of the biggest differences between playing tennis and pickleball besides these nasty messages?
Mostly the social aspect, which is a huge thing. Tennis it's a really lonely sport. Everyone is out for everyone. Like you're all by yourself out there. You have a lot of people have a coach with them or a trainer or something. I never really had that on the tour, so it was a bit more difficult for me, but like everyone in pickleball, it's like a big family basically. Like everyone's hanging out all day at the site, everyone's talking to each other. Even if you fought on the court, like when you get off, everyone's chilling, hanging out. If you have beef for a few weeks with someone, like it's okay. You guys are gonna be friends again. In tennis, like if you have a fight with someone, that's it. You guys don't speak to each other basically ever again, and you're gonna fight with people occasionally on the court. It gets competitive out there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's I've heard that the women on the WTA and even college tennis, not so much, but mainly on the pro tour, don't even practice with each other. That's how much they seem to hate each other.
Yes, that's why a lot of them they bring in hitters so they don't have to hit with any of the other girls. They're like, I don't want to practice with this girl. I don't want them to know my game, any of this stuff. I'm like, I don't care who I practice with in pickleball. Like if I'm out there playing with a 3-0 or a 5-0, 6-0, like it doesn't really matter. Like it doesn't matter their level, it doesn't matter who they are. As long as they're not mean to me, I will practice with them. In tennis, it was the exact opposite. They're like, I'm too good to practice with you. I'm like, does it really matter that much? Like, oh,
No, I totally know what you're talking about. We see it in pickleball a little bit, but for the most part, people are really good about playing with others, regardless of whether they're higher or lower skill level. And certainly at the pro level, once you're a pro and you play pro tournaments, it gets a little easier. I know also as a female, luckily the female pros have it a little easier to find partners because they're more scarce. You guys are a hot
yeah,
commodity out there, so you guys could take your pick. I think most of the time.
yeah, definitely.
Well, you're one of obviously the tour's rising stars this year. You've had a number of breakthroughs. What kind of doors have opened for you during this year? Obviously, sponsorships, particularly after you took down Annalie Waters in Orange County. You made a huge splash and just shocked the pickleball world.
I think everything opened up after that, like partnerships, sponsors, everything. My social media went very crazy for a while. It still is like it's growing every day. You get a bunch of messages all the time. People are coming up to me everywhere I go. I used to love
Mm.
to go play rec at random parks like every single day. Um, it's a bit more difficult now that a lot of people know me, but I still like to do it. But yeah,
You're a celebrity now. You need security everywhere you go.
oh gosh.
No, we're not at that level yet, but I mean, I'm sure we'll get there. So we're sort of all prizing where we're at, I think, right now until it gets crazy, where like it will be only chaperoned exchanges with fans, just like tennis and so on.
Yeah,
So
I was talking
yeah,
about that like last week or so.
yeah,
Because I was walking with, like, I don't know if it was my partner or someone, and people just kept stopping us on the way for like autographs and like pictures and stuff. And like, I felt really bad, but I had to go play my match. But it's
yeah.
like in tennis, you have a security with you that takes you, and they just kind of like put everyone to the side and let you walk through. I don't mind taking pictures and autographs. I love it, but like sometimes I'm late and I feel really bad about it. But
Oh, I hear you. I've had pros tell me, they're like, yeah, it takes me 30 minutes to get from the court to the bathroom. So, like, if I have a
Yeah.
stop in my match that I can, a timeout and I can go use the bathroom, I can't because I'm gonna get, harangued by fans and stopped and all this stuff. So
Oh,
we're
the
almost at the
worst.
point.
Yeah, the worst was when I was in Cincinnati. I was like jogging and like I was warming up before my match, and someone grabs me while I'm jogging. And they're like, I'm a huge fan. I'm just like, what the heck just happened? And I was also walking through the courts at it, I think it was Kansas, and someone just came up and grabbed me from behind.
Oh
And I was
God.
not expecting it whatsoever. So that was really funny.
Oh my gosh, are these men or women who are grabbing you?
A guy grabbed my arm, which was a bit scary, and then a lady just came up and grabbed me. She's like, I love you so much. And I'm just like, who's grabbing me right now?
Oh man, that would have freaked me out. Oh, yeah. I mean, they don't get it. It's funny how when people watch you on TV so often or watch you play so often, they really feel like they know you. You're so familiar
Yeah,
that they're like, this is like Tyra's a friend. Like she's totally gonna want me to
yeah.
hug her, and you're like,
Yeah,
I have never seen you before. Please go away. But you're very sweet about it. You're that's great. You have a really good attitude about it.
thanks.
So tell me how you found pickleball, because everyone has an origin story, right?
So James Ignatowicz is my origin story.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I've known him since we were like 12 or 13 years old. We played tennis together. We trained together like every day, basically. And then I started traveling. I didn't see him for a few years, and I was at home during COVID, and he's like, I'm playing pickleball. And I'm like, well, what is that? And he's like, you have to play. Like, trust me, it's a lot of fun. He's like, you're going to be so good at it. Like, you just need to play. Because my tennis game, I think, translates pretty well to pickleball. So he's like, I know you're going to be good. Just try it. So then I think it took like a few weeks, a few months or whatever. And I finally went out there and I was like, this is like the ball was so annoying to me. I didn't really understand it. And I just started hitting. I played singles against him. I lost 5-0, did not like put a ball in. We just played 5 points because like we couldn't play doubles or anything. I like didn't even touch the ball, so that was not a good day. But then I went to go try like a doubles practice and I played rec and I absolutely fell in love with it. It was just so much fun. But I was still playing tennis tournaments, so I could only play like once a week when I was home if I was lucky. And then I just started playing a bit more. And then I went to some tennis tournaments in Turkey for, I think I was gone for a few weeks and I missed pickleball so much.
Oh, I
And
love that.
this was like January, and I watched my first pickleball match ever, which was Minnesota. I think it was James and Catherine playing like the semis or finals of
Mhm.
Minnesota. And I was like, this looks like a lot of fun. I didn't understand it, but it looked like fun. So after that trip, I came home and I went full into pickleball.
And was that the end of your tennis career at that point?
Yes, so I stopped playing tennis in mid-February. I came back home from the tournaments and I just did not play again after that.
Your heart wasn't in it?
No. So I've told this story a few times, but there was a bad earthquake in Turkey when I was there, and it was very devastating. And I was like, I was just kind of in shock about the whole thing. It was really scary. And I'm like, if I died today, like, would I be happy with what I'm doing? And that was definitely not the case. So I realized I loved pickleball and I wanted to try it, and I was just going to go full into it. And whatever happens, happens. And yeah,
Wow, what a turning point. That is crazy. Do
yeah,
you did you love tennis?
no.
No.
I never liked tennis. I loved all the traveling that came with it, like going to Paris and Brazil. Like I went to Thailand, all these amazing places. But when I was on the court, I just did not enjoy what I was doing, and I did not get to go sightseeing that often
Mhm.
because I do well in most of my tournaments, so I'd be playing all week long, and I couldn't go really do anything fun. So it was just I did not enjoy it for sure.
Ugh, what was your career high ranking in tennis?
I was 300 in WTA, and then I was 11 in ITF juniors.
Wow, that is really impressive. So you mentioned that you didn't care for singles so much, but you fell in love with doubles pickleball, which is funny because obviously you had your breakthrough in singles. And then after your huge match against AL, you chose to step back from singles. I don't think you've entered really a singles tournament since then for the most part. And you've pivoted to concentrating on doubles. Why is that?
So everyone keeps asking me this.
I'm sure.
Um, I never enjoyed playing singles, and like I told like James and like Leia, they were like super helpful with me, especially in the beginning of my career. And they're like, you just need to play like so you can get noticed and get good partners. And I was like, I really don't want to do this at all. They're like, just like keep playing. So every week I'm just like, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play anymore. And then that happened, and I got all these great opportunities. And I'm like, there's not really a reason for me to do something I don't enjoy doing. Um, so I'm like, I have good partners now. I want to focus on what I love, and that is doubles and mixed doubles. So there wasn't really a point for me to play singles again after that. The dream breakers and like the tournaments are like super fun, of course. But like playing a full day of singles is just it's not enjoyable for me.
Wow. I love hearing you're doing exactly what you want. You know what you like. You're cutting out everything you don't. That is the best way to be living your life. And I did not know the answer to that question until now. I asked that one purely out of curiosity.
Yeah,
And it is that is the best answer you could give. I absolutely love it. It's interesting because Colin, obviously, John's my brother, was a high level tennis player as well. And he does not want to play singles at all. And obviously his game
yeah.
lends to singles just like yours does. You guys could be
Hmm.
great, but he's like, it's just too close to tennis. Like, I don't want to go back
Yeah,
there. Like I
exactly.
get mentally taken back to these terrible like times in tennis where you're just grinding, you're in an unknown country. It's like you're homesick, you're tired, your body hurts, and you're just hating being out there on the court.
Yeah, and you're out there by yourself. There's no one there to really help you. You have someone on your bench. I haven't always had someone there, but doubles, you have someone right next to you. You can talk to them whenever. You can talk, communicate during the point. Singles, it's just you're out there by yourself, figure it out, basically.
No, yeah, that doesn't sound as fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned people on your sideline. Are your parents involved at all?
No. So my dad lives in Thailand. He's a pro tennis coach. So I haven't seen him in a few years. And my mom, she had a really bad car accident like last year, and she hasn't really been able to do a lot. So she can't come to any tournaments with me, but she's always at home watching. She loves doing that. She just watched podcasts all day long and watch pickleball matches. So that's her favorite thing now.
Oh, that is so sweet. I'm very sorry to hear that. I did not know that, but at least you know you can feel her energy.
Yes.
What about your sister? I know she's played a bit, right?
Yes, so I have two older sisters. One, she's about 35. She works full time, and she hasn't played any sports in probably a little over 15 years. So she was a very good tennis player, and she got injured, and she also fell in love with pickleball, but she doesn't have a lot of time to do it. But she's playing a lot of singles. She's a 5-0 player now, so I'm really proud of her.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
she's she's a doctor, so it's like
Oh,
I can't tell her to leave her career and play pickleball, which I'd love for her to do. Um,
yeah.
but I'm like, play as much as you can, have fun. Whenever you can come out to tournaments, come out and play. And then I have my other sister, Alicia. She's 25. She's a tennis coach. So she's on the court. She's still kind of playing sports and stuff like that. And I think she'd be very good at pickleball. And I've played with her a few times, and like she was insane. So I really want to try and get her into it and like play full time, which I think would be amazing.
Oh, the whole Black family could be on tour. We want this. This sounds great.
Exactly.
Obviously, it's so nice to have a friend. I'm sure you're close with your sisters. Maybe not. I don't want to say, but
Yeah.
the having somebody from your blood out there to support you. Certainly, Ben and Colin know what that's like. Is just it's
Hmm.
unmatchable, really.
Yeah, it's great. So I've my oldest sister came with me to one PPA tournament, the one in Dallas, because she lives out there. and she loved it. I love having her cheer for me. I loved being able to cheer for her when she was playing. She's also going to be at the MLP event and the Dallas event with me, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And my other sister, Alicia, is also going to come out, so all of us will be
Oh,
there.
whole family out. Oh, I love that. That'll bring luck, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
So tell me, before pickleball and your big MLP contract, what were you doing besides traveling around for the tennis tournaments?
I was just playing tennis.
That's
Yeah,
it.
full-time tennis. I would coach sometimes when I was at home, but I was just full into tennis. I was buying and selling Nike clothes online, which is more of just like a hobby than
Yeah.
like a job. Because I just love shopping. So if I found something cute, I just keep it for myself, basically. But yeah, I was just full into tennis.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I've heard from a lot of tennis players that obviously it's really hard financially to make it around on
Yeah,
tour and travel and like have the money to pay for your next flight to get to the next tournament. And a lot of them are doing sort of like freelancy, like off the wall gigs to try to cover these costs.
yeah. So I'd play a lot of like money tournaments on the weekends. They'd give out pretty good prize money where I am because there's so many players. So that's usually how I paid for most of my travel. But yeah.
That is tough. Well, now is it a little bit easier to be on a contracted salary? Is this a bit better?
I was losing so much money the first few months playing pickleball, and everyone's just like, stick it out, trust me, it'll be fine. And I'm like, I'm losing a lot every single week. But I was like, I love what I'm doing, and that's my priority is happiness. So I'm just gonna keep pushing and see what happens.
Oh my gosh, that's such a great story. Imagine if you'd given up, because I know it's hundreds of dollars just to pay for the tournament registrations, and you're not counting
The,
flight, hotel, rental.
yeah, the registration's up to like 600 if you play all the events and like the registration fees and everything. So it's a bit much, but it was definitely worth it.
Paid off in the end.
Yes.
Well, now that you're traveling around full time on tour, what is dating life like on tour? Is there even time for that? You said there were no questions I couldn't ask.
I haven't heard this one yet. I didn't know it was coming. No comment.
You can say that. That's fine.
I don't know. It's just everyone's just having fun. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll leave that one for now. But yeah, I mean, most of us have been around the tour for years, and so we know what it's like. The dating life can be tough because obviously we're all young and we're trying to find our person, most of us, and you don't have any time for it. You're constantly on the road with the same 50 to 100 pros, and it can be tough for anyone to find something that sticks.
Yeah, I always felt really like the first few tournaments I was feeling really uncomfortable because like I'm one of the younger girls playing. And I'm just like there's so many people who are like married and have kids here and stuff like that. I'm like how do I fit into this group kind of? So it was a bit uncomfortable, but like everyone just kind of feels like a family now, so it doesn't matter.
That's great. Yeah, it evolves over time. There are young people on tour, a lot of married people for sure. And it's good to just feel like even if there's no romantic connection there, that people have got your back and everyone kind of
Yeah.
sticks together. Well, I was talking to one of my colleagues. He said that he heard from Jimmy Miller, who runs the King of the Court podcast, that you guys are best friends and that you might be playing doubles together next year. Is that true?
I would love to get a tournament in with Jimmy. Jimmy is my favorite person ever. He is absolutely hilarious. He will say whatever's on his mind, so I respect him for it. He is just an awesome person. I hope he comes out to more tournaments, and I've played a rec game against him, not with him. Me and Leia versus him and Hayden, and we won, obviously. Um,
Obviously.
yeah, but they want a rematch. But I think we're just me and Leia together are too good against Hayden and him. So
I believe it. So, yeah, keep it up. Actually, so Lea Jansen was with me last week. She did the interview last week. And she confirmed that you two will be partnered up for 2024, which we talked about a little bit earlier. So what prompted the two of you to choose each other?
So we played San Clemente, I think. Yeah, we played San Clemente together, and we had a very good match with Catherine and Annalie. And we realized our game styles just fit really well together. And that day, she's like, "Next year, I want to play with you." And I was like so starstruck. I was like, "You want to play with me?" And I was so happy, and I just automatically said yes. I'm like, "This is happening. It needs to happen." And she tweeted it, so she's like, "I tweeted it. It's everyone knows this now, so there's no going back."
It's written in the history books. Once Lea Jansen tweets it, it's over.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it. Well, you're still figuring out your game style to some extent. You have a ton of weapons, but you're still so new to it. So, are you gonna find the two of you evolving as you play throughout the year together?
Definitely. So we played a tournament about 2 days ago together, and we haven't played together in like since that event a few months ago. And she stopped playing singles, so her game is like evolving a lot in doubles. And my game has just changed a lot in the last 2 months, and I've learned so many new things. So it felt a bit weird at first because like I have all these like different shots, and she had all these new shots too. Um, but we're gonna practice a lot together before the year starts, and we're just gonna have that all set. And yeah,
Wow. Are you watching anyone, or who are you emulating your game based on when you say you learn new shots?
just kind of everyone. If I play someone and I didn't even really notice it that much, but I just automatically will start doing it. So like there's some certain shots like with the flick and how people hit it, and I just noticed I'd start to go home in practice and I just automatically start doing it without thinking. And I'm like, wow, that's exactly like this player or that player does it that like I played against. So if I see anyone has like a cool shot that I like I just go home and just start doing it. Um, I watched a lot of Simone Jardim in the beginning of my career, so I tried to copy that. Catherine definitely, like I love her backhand flick um, and Annalise two-hand backhand. I just kind of try and take like bits and pieces from everyone.
Is that something you've always had, this sort of being a visual learner throughout your life?
Yeah, so I'm definitely a visual learner, and tennis was the same thing. Like I tried to copy more guys in tennis than I did girls because I had a really unconventional game that a lot of girls like hit hard and flat, and I had like a lot of slice and like hit really heavy in all those shots. So um, I would just love to watch like Djokovic play or Kyrgios or anyone, and I would just see a really cool shot and just try and put it into my game.
That's awesome. Yeah, as you as you're preparing, I guess, for the rest of this season and looking into next, who are you at home practicing with?
Everyone, there's a lot of people in South Florida.
True.
Wow, there's a lot of people. There's James, Anna, Georgia, JW, Millie, um, our friend Davis, Hugo. There's just like an unlimited amount of people down there. So we just kind of mix it up like every few days or so, and we all get rec games in. And then at the end of the day, I go play rec with just at like open play with whoever's there. And that's usually my schedule.
You come off like such a sweetheart, but you're an absolute beast on the court. Are there any players in South Florida where you have like a little rivalry, like the one you really always want to beat?
I don't have anything like that yet. I've told people that I just want to start like fake beef with someone just so that
Yeah.
like I come off a little bit like stronger or something, but I can't do it for some reason. I'm trying my best, but maybe if I play with Lea, like I'll be like more like a tiger on court or something, be able to fight someone. We'll see.
I love it. I love it. You bring everything to the court and you can sort of play with your persona. I know a lot of pros are learning that one of the things that really helps them is turning on a game face that may not even match with their personality off court, but building a persona on court is really important. It almost helps you step away from who you are off court to who you are on court. And we have lots of characters now, and I think that's really cool. And so something I'm sure you'll explore as you continue to play.
Yeah, so in tennis, I had a very, very bad attitude on the court.
Mm.
Just picture Nick Kyrgios breaking his racket, screaming, cursing, anything you could imagine. And I was just doing that when I was younger, and it was awful. And when I look back and I see that, I'm like, that is absolutely ridiculous and uncalled for. I cannot be doing stuff like that. So, towards the end of my tennis career, and especially when I started playing pickleball, I was able to stay more calm on court, a lot of meditation and everything to just kind of keep my cool. And it just kind of, I guess when I went to pickleball, I was happier and everything. So it just automatically stayed. I didn't have to like do any breathing exercises anymore, anything. It just kind of, stuck.
Wow. That's a tremendous fun fact. I would never have guessed
Yeah.
that about you. I don't think anyone would.
Well, I will give you a fun fact. One time I broke about 24 tennis rackets in 1 year.
Oh my gosh. Who was
Yes.
your sponsor at the time? Were they like, what is going on?
Luckily, I got a lot of rackets. I think it was Head at the time.
Uh-huh.
But I had so many rackets over the years, from my sisters too. So like the rackets were just going down very fast. I broke six in one tournament once. They were just, yeah,
Oh my gosh. And have you ever broken a pickleball paddle?
no,
Wow.
I've
Okay.
never broke one. It's crazy.
You're a changed woman.
I know. Everyone's like, I don't even recognize you anymore. Like you're so calm on the court. You were not like that in tennis.
Yeah. I guess that's what happens. You get in that mindset when you're doing what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah, it's like I played tennis, I was not happy, and it showed on the court. I'm playing pickleball and I'm happy, and that is also showing on the court. So,
That is awesome. I love it. Well, you are one of our hottest, brightest young stars right now. You've got a lot in front of you. 2024 fast approaching. What are you most looking forward to in the next year?
just playing.
Keep it simple.
I'm super, yeah, I'm just super excited for my partnerships to stick with the same people all year long. This year's been really difficult playing with a different person almost every single
Yeah.
tournament. It's hard to kind of get a rhythm. So, yeah,
Well, Tyra, it has been a delight to get to know you better and talk with you. I'm sure people are really going to enjoy hearing from you in this interview. Thank you for being on here and being my guest.
thank you.